Good evening, everyone. It's Kinninigan. This ain't looking good. Apparently, there's going to be a false flag attack to make it look like it's Iran, so, we have to go to war and spill more American blood. This is becoming a running fucking joke at this point because this isn't. And Israel and Trump are both losing support over this. There are a lot of people in comment sections saying this is not what we voted for. We got shit to clean up in our own country. How about we start focusing on the corrupt judges handing over these TROs, blocking Trump's agendas on deportation? You have the Attorney General in Florida was just indicted over a corrupt Obama judge for carrying out the law, immigration law. Yeah. So we have all this shit going on, and then the No Kings riots or whatever. And now they're trying to pull us into a war with Iran again. I've already called this shit out the other day. Go watch my other video about there are Freemason lodges in Iran and Israel, obviously. So I'm gonna call their bullshit out. If Freemason are so good, why can't we have them go parlay a fucking or broker a peace deal between the two countries? China, Iran, Russia, the United States, we all have Masonic lodges in them. What good to the Freemason then if they can't broker fucking peace between world powers? Yeah, let's start calling out their bullshit. And by the way, the Iranian parliament building, yeah, we'll get to this in a second. It's a triangle with 33 windows. Just weird looking, yeah, obvious Masonic building there. Their parliament. They're not Persian. The regime that's controlled. They're Zionist. Everyone knows that. More fucking yeah, and obviously this was a running meme. I got this from the Times of Israel. This article came out in 2012, 15 years ago. Does anyone remember this meme? Where Netanyahu holds up the bomb and says we gotta deal with Iran. They're in the final stages of their uranium enrichment. Yeah, this was 15 years ago. And let's talk about the other false flags that have carried us in the wars conveniently because I got them pulled up. False flags to target Russia and Iran. If you want, well, we have the infamous German Reichstag fire that kicked off the Nazi regime in 1933. A lot of people are saying January 6th was supposed to be. It wasn't exactly the same thing. It's a bad analogy. That was what the Democrats were trying to use. Um, that's rules for radicals. Accuse the other side of what you're guilty of. And when you're supporting Nazis, obviously you're going to call the other side fucking Nazis all day. And this was Goring. He was one of the Nazi officers that realized that you can't get most people. He wrote a statement here saying, most people working on farms do not want to go out and fight for foreign countries. So you need these quote unquote false flag attacks to draw their involvement in. We had the Gulf of Tonkin incident that happened years ago with Israel. And the most infamous one, which was 9/11. One of the members of Trump's cabinet right now, the Secretary of Commerce, he wears a yarmulke. That's all I'm saying. He's probably a fucking Freemason. That's Howard Lutnick. People are calling him Trump's Zionist handler. Well, he was supposedly working in the banking industry when 9/11 happened, and he was one of those magic Jews that didn't show up for work on 9/11 in the World Trade Center. Just saying. So we have this declassified document where to draw us into a war with Cuba, the CIA was willing to kill Americans to draw us into a war with Cuba. And they were willing to kill Americans in a false flag attack. This was in 1962. Do you know who opposed this? JFK. Shortly after he got his brains blown out. JFK also mentioned secret societies in one of his infamous speeches. Yeah, the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They wanted to have an operation that was going to kill Americans to pull us into a war with Cuba. And now we have an article with Iran stating that there's going to be a terrifying surprise event tonight that the world will remember for centuries. Yeah. Um, so be prepared, people. If they carry out a false flag attack in the United States, it's going to be in the morning. How fucking convenient. It's always in the morning. That's so one, they could film it in the daylight, and two, so it could feed the news cycle all day. 9/11 happened, I think, what was it, 9 o'clock in the morning? Yeah. Expect kind of the same thing. Well, this time will it be a dirty bomb or will it be something like October 7th? We don't know because Joe Biden let a lot of terrorists over the border in the past 4 years. So, who's to say? Watch your six if you're outside. There's a lot of potential for false flag attacks because, in all honesty, Trump is losing support. Um, Tulsi Gabbard, his chief of national intelligence, said 2 months ago that Iran didn't have a nuclear bomb yet. And Trump's saying that he's ignoring her now. And Tucker Carlson, who we know Tucker Carlson's a Freemason now from that interview with Conor McGregor in the Masonic Temple, and they gave each other the lion's paw handshake. He supposedly has a rift with Trump right now. Um, I'm sick of these games. In ancient times, I study ancient history. When people used to go to war in ancient times, they would sit down together and have what was called a parlay before they actually destroyed each other. We don't see that with modern fucking leaders anymore. Did Biden ever have a parlay with Putin before he started back in Ukraine? Yeah. Sick of the way these wars are fought anymore. There's no fucking honor in being, this is all bullshit. It's all guerrilla tactics. It's not a war, a conventional war where people are lining their troops up on the battlefield. No, it's all this stupid terrorist shit and lobbing bombs at each other, and now it's fucking drones. So, I know the whole conspiracy behind it, but I don't know. There's even a conspiracy out there that our nuclear weapons don't even work, or they've been decommissioned by aliens before. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but still, this shit. But you know what? Conveniently, because of all this shit going on, nobody's talking about the Epstein files now or the P. Diddy freak-off parties. How convenient. Screw the illegal immigrants in America. Screw all the Doge cuts for the corruption and money laundering going on in the governments. Screw the child trafficking and pedophilia. Iran's working on a nuclear bomb. Didn't you know this? Yeah, they've been working on it for I don't know how much. How long, Netanyahu? 30 fucking years now since 9/11. This was an infamous. This was a fucking meme 15 years ago. And then the Times of Israel even has an article here of all the memes that came out. Nuclear physics, not that complicated. And then, yeah, holding up a bag of Doritos. Yeah, it's the boy that cried wolf. The Zionist, the called Antichrist. Okay, yeah, whatever. Um, and like I said, at the end of the day, go look at my other video. There are Masonic Temples in Iran. Why can't we send a Freemason over there to parlay a peace deal? I'm calling their shit out. If you aren't Luciferians and you don't worship reptilians and you're just a fraternity that has powerful business connections, why can't we utilize a secret society to broker a peace deal between Iran before we fucking bomb each other to death? Yeah, I'm calling. Are the Masonic temples going to be bombed? How about the Masonic Iranian Parliament building? The one that has 33 windows. Oh, and by the way, there was a comment in my thing. Didn't Persia save Israel's ass from Babylon back in the Bible? Yes, they did. It was Cyrus the Great, the leader of the Persian army, who took down Babylon and freed the people. He freed the Babylonians. Yes, that is 100% true. But Cyrus was Persian. The current mullahs of Iran are not Persian. Just saying. Yeah, Persia did save the Jews back in the Bible. He was the one that took Babylon down. The Persian army was very powerful at one time. Go watch the movie 300 with the 300 Spartans fighting the Persians. That was one of the most infamous battles. There's a lot of metaphors with that battle. I should make a video about the Battle of 300 because there are 300 Anunnaki, supposedly. 300's a very occultic number. I think there was some metaphors going on there. And it wasn't exactly just 300 Persians. There were also about 30,000 Greek phalanx heavy infantry backing up the Spartans. So it wasn't just 300 Spartans against the whole Persian army. Yeah, they held the line. I'm not going to try to remember the battle name. It's in Greek. I'll probably screw it up. But anyway. But if you watch the movie 300, what happened in the movie to 300? The leader of the Spartans, King Leonidas, has a meeting with Xerxes, the Persian leader at the time, and they actually had a parlay before that battle. And then we get the infamous line, Male Ube, Malin Abe, come and take it, and the Persians tell the Spartans to disarm and lay their weapons down. We get that in. But they had a parlay. What happened to that? Why can't we send some Freemason Jews and some Freemason Iranians to have a fucking parlay? Yeah, we need to start calling the bullshit out. And I'm telling you right now, for false flag, they do not have the support they think they do. And people are a little, they're getting a little oblivious. I mean, not oblivious, a little on to this shit. How convenient. So it's just a matter of time. It's not when. I don't do fear porn on my channel. People know that. But this is a serious threat of a false flag attack now to target Russia and Iran. Every fucking world leader in history that's trying to march on Russia, Napoleon, Hitler, no one can occupy Russia. Yet these idiots want to try to attack Russia, whatever, and Iran. Maybe Jews need to move to Holy Land. Aaron Russo, before years ago, he was in an interview where he said that the Rothschilds had plans to possibly move the state of Israel, and we were going to give them part of the United States. I think it was Arizona. I'm not joking. And they refused it because they can't move from the Holy Land because they got to rebuild the temple and bring the Antichrist back and all that shit. Whatever. Thousands of years of human civilization, and this is what we're still doing. Except I think here's the advantage we have in 2025. They do not control the mainstream media anymore. They do not control the narrative, okay? Someone could put out a post on Twitter now, and it gets hundreds of thousands of likes before the mainstream media can even cover it. So, yeah. Anything blows up in the United States, or a bunch of jihadis start going around killing Americans, and, this is the first thing people are going to call out. And Trump's being very abrasive with his own administration and his supporters right now because we don't want to see this shit. I can get into bigger philosophical questions like who the hell determines what other humans could have nuclear weapons or not? Whatever. Sounds like bullshit to me. Sounds like mass murder or mass human sacrifice to me. That's all it sounds like. This is why I said that we need to start calling their bullshit out. So watch your six. If you could support the channel, I would appreciate it. I think if there is a false flag attack, sadly, I got bad feelings. I hope, God forbid there isn't something there. What you think what could be worse than 9/11? Yeah. These people right here are like, hold my goat, I'll show you. Yeah. You thought not. And the false flags always seem to get bigger and bigger and more spectacular each time, don't they? So, dirty bomb, who knows? And it's a perfect time to send American troops to war because Pete Hegseth has been rebuilding our military and kicking all the trans and, freaks out of the military. And now that he's building the military back up, it would be a perfect time for them to go overseas and get killed for another country, wouldn't it now? Because, God forbid, America build our military up and worried about our country, right? Yeah, that's another angle I see to this because the trans and the woke shit's going away now, and we're actually fixing up our military. Well, we can't have that now. Just saying. Time to go to the Middle East. You know, we were only over there how many, what, 20 fucking years after 9/11? Yeah, we heard about the weapons of mass destruction shit when we went into Iraq with Bush. And I don't give a damn who calls me anti Semitic. No, I'm anti murder, okay? Um, yeah, so there you go. I'll make this the thumbnail image. Remember 15 years ago, Iran was going to have enriched uranium. This was in 2012. Whatever. Oh my god. So yeah, Iran state. You know what? This could mean possibly they've been given hypersonic missiles, probably from Russia. Probably from, well, yeah. So hypersonic missiles ain't really. There was a missile that went through the Iron Dome the other day and hit the. It was a Israel military building, equivalent to like their Pentagon. And if they have hypersonic missiles, nothing's going to take down a hypersonic missile. Russia has them, and supposedly China has them. Supposedly we have classified missiles also. It's just a cowardly way to blow someone up from a fucking 1,000 miles away, so you can just hit a button and lob a fucking missile at them. There's no honor in war anymore. This is all about taking military-age fighting men in the United States and having them spill blood. I don't care how you sugarcoat it. Then you got all these Zionist shills out there like Ben Shapiro telling me we gotta support Israel. Good. Hey Ben Shapiro, go put on a fucking IDF uniform, go over to Israel and help them fight then. That's your homeland. I'm from Ireland, okay? And Irish people, we were shit on from the UK and had to fight for our right to exist in you know, British royalty for a long time, so I don't want to hear it. We even came to America as indentured servants, pretty much slaves. So, yeah, let's shove the racist shit also. Secondly, I'm ex-military, and this is a spokesman from the IDF, and I just want to say this. That is the sloppiest fucking military uniform I ever saw in my life. Do you not have one? It's too big for them. I guess you don't have dry cleaners and starch in Israel. If any U.S. soldier was seen with a uniform like that on, yeah, there'd be some problems. That is not a squared away uniform. Looks too big for him, first of all. Um, Squared away is a word that we use in the military, meaning that you know your boots are shined, your uniform's pressed. You will not see any spokesman from the Pentagon going on a news station with a uniform looking like that. Just saying, or a Marine, or anyone from the military, even the Coast Guard. Um, but now, yeah, they're all over the news. They're on Fox News now. There's going to be a false flag attack. I don't know. They do not have the support, and they know it. And I'm not going to be called anti-Semitic for what I just said. Like I said, if you're Jewish and you support Israel, go over to Israel and help your homeland fight then, okay? Tired of the United States being the welfare state of the world. You know, everyone wants our fucking weapons, our American blood, our money, and why they shit on our Constitution. And they want to be jealous of our fucking constitutional and religious rights. But it's okay. We want your American money. We want your military support. We want this. We want that. But yeah, you know what? I think I need to run for president. That wouldn't happen, would it? Not when I threaten to shut down secret societies in this country. Yeah, I'll be joining JFK real soon because I'll run on the fact that I'm shutting down the fucking Federal Reserve and Masonic lodges and Bohemian Grove too. While we're at it, I'm not playing. So yeah, this just hit the news recently. Anyway, if you could support the channel, I would appreciate it. I don't monetize my videos, not doing too well financially. Um, I'm a simple man. That's all I need. It's just like smokes. I'm trying to get some weed. That's all. And make sure I'm stocked up on everything because I got a bad feeling about things about to happen. Not looking good. There's definitely going to be a false flag somewhere. Or, God forbid, it could be against our own military in the Middle East, one of our ships or something. I hope not. You know, Americans spill a lot of blood in foreign wars, but how much, it's time soldiers start spilling blood for this fucking country. And by the way, we're in an open war with the Mexican drug cartels also. So this is what I mean about focusing on shit going on at home. Because I don't know if you know what's going on with the cartels in Mexico and all that shit in Los Angeles with the ICE raids and connected people in politics being connected with cartels. We need to take care of that problem. Yeah, Iran's got enriched uranium. Well, you know what? The drug cartels have fucking fentanyl, which is like a biological weapon, which is killing 100,000 Americans a year. Iran didn't kill 100,000 Americans last year. Just saying. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard was told to. Donald Trump basically told her to shut up. I'm not joking about that. You can look up the video. Not doing this to be anti-Semitic. We're calling out the bullshit. This was 2012. We heard that Iran was in their final stages of perfecting a nuclear weapon. What is that? Your only if your only a goal since you fell out? You're all right. I'll be nice about this. Since your mom spawned you was to grow up so you could get a nuclear weapon just to kill 100,000 people with the push of a button. Yeah, this is human civilization in 2025. I don't think we're as advanced as we think we are. This is why a civilization like Atlantis had to be taken out by Alpha Draconians. Well, and ever since then, look who's been running this planet. And the same shit, nothing new under the sun. They just find different ways of murdering people and thinning out the population. So, yeah, expect a false flag attack. And, by the way, expect real attacks from the drug cartels. I'm serious about that one. Drug cartels, I know they don't play. They are pretty sick in the head. And yeah, there is the possibility that, not a possibility, it's probably very likely that we have sleeper cells all over the United States right now. Anyway, that's all for my rant. If you could support the channel, I would appreciate it. Any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless and take care.